I've been stuck at home for a week after the coronavirus outbreak has halted the world. So I decided to watch Contagion.
Contagion.
The 2011 film written by Scott Z. Burns and directed by Steven
movie, right?
Soderbergh depicts a worldwide outbreak of a deadly virus.
This
Sound familiar?
To COVID.
to COVID.
So I decided to compare everything these guys got right and everything they got wrong. This is Contagion versus reality.
Yeah,
March 2020.
yeah.
And of course, spoilers ahead.
But you watched
But
this.
it's been a
It's
year
quite
since
remarkable to see a film almost a decade old so accurately depict the reality
work
of
like this.
possibly the largest pandemic we have
Nobody
seen
walks
this
like
century.
this.
Europe is now the epicenter.
What?
with the tick, tick, tick on the samples.
Nobody does that.
We did it.
You did it?
Yeah.
So it is real?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're walking in the laboratory.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know that. I'm just saying because maybe you don't know, but she's walking in the laboratory.
We tried to disinfect the tubes that were coming.
Okay.
Of the global
Travel ban began preventing entry for those traveling.
This is
from
reality.
I'll
26
refer to
European
3 points
countries.
specifically: disease origin, transmission speed, and the impact of misinformation.
Yeah.
Probably
So,
the most
that's
shocking
happened.
match with reality is that the fictitious MEV1 disease depicted in the movie originates from animals. From bats to pigs.
No, I want to stop here to say something.
Yeah.
It's like what's the video is all about? It's about he is saying that like COVID, like the movie predict what going to
in
be
COVID.
on the pandemic. Now this video is retarded. You know why? Because it's like tomorrow I'm going to make a movie, and this movie is going to be about predicting.
It's like you had a movie about the 9/11.
Not exactly. It's like I'm going to predict what's going to happen if Russia will drop the nuclear bomb on New York.
Okay.
So I will tell you. First, they will throw a bomb back. Second, I don't know, people will die.
Yeah.
Third, there will be like nuclear radiation. Yeah, but that's didn't even really happen.
Yeah.
But he's saying about something that happened before. Before COVID, we have Mars, SARS, whatever. And before that pandemic, 100 years ago,
The Spanish flu
the Spanish flu. So, whoever directed this movie or wrote this movie,
was based on things
based
that happened
on
before.
facts.
Yeah.
So he took the facts, made a movie, and that makes
Yeah,
sense.
but we never had
Yeah.
like a pandemic like COVID, which is super worldwide.
I know. We had. And you know, the
In
season
modern
flu.
times-
The season flu is a pandemic.
Yeah, but
People
you
are
don't
living
wear
in
masks and people don't die from it in such
more.
masses.
I know it's more bad. Agree with that, but the fact that he compared that, it's like comparing something that happened with something that
But it's something
going to
that
happen.
is obvious to compare because it's a movie about a pandemic
yeah,
that hit
but
the world.
all I'm saying is the director is not like
He
a
didn't
psychic.
invented it, yeah.
He's not a psychic.
He was based on
He
things.
based on fact, and then like the fact happened.
Suddenly happened.
Yeah, but
it's
this
just
guy
a matter of time until it will
Yeah.
happen. You say,
Yeah, but this guy is saying like, listen, they predicted everything, and look, like 3 million people watched it,
yeah,
and like 3 million people like said, oh my god,
yeah. The movie
it's
just
the
came
same like real
true.
life. No, the movie is like real life.
But it's
and
not in a
nothing
coincidence.
predicted.
Yeah.
It's like he just watched the fact and he did that.
You can take like movie about war and compare it to a war that happened later and find the same
That's my point.
points and to compare and said the movie predicted the war. No.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
To humans.
Yeah, but it's interesting to
information-
watch something like this
It
because
is interesting. I
because
agree.
when
I love
COVID
this
started,
video.
all the people say, "Oh, go and watch Contagious." Is like what's happening now. But
And that's enough. But people are watching the movie and they're saying
Yeah.
like, yo, it happened in the movie
no,
and the
it's
guy
just
in the
a
movie
scenario
predicted that. Yeah.
that actually happened a few years after the movie. That's
Yeah.
all.
But why is he comparing that? Because people are thinking, oh my god, there was a movie and in that movie they saw the future. No, they didn't
I
saw the
have
future.
another theory.
Yeah.
The people in Wuhan in the laboratory for viruses, they watched Contagious. And then they
Yeah, of
said,
course. Yeah.
I want to make this movie come true. And then everything started.
Let's watch some facts and see if that happened before. It's like the animals that we saw.
Yeah.
It came from animals. It happens from camels.
It's not my
2003 or
opinion
something
today,
like
but
that.
yes.
What?
It's not my opinion
Me
today.
too, but we can't say that on
Yes,
YouTube.
okay, I don't
Never
say it,
mind.
never.
We can't.
That we have-
Only the BBC can. Let's watch some.
Today about SARS-CoV-2 tells us that it also has an animal origin. A bat
Happened before.
to a pangolin to finally reach
Nobody
humans.
knows if it's
It
from
is believed
pangolin.
that
I would-
the disease made its way from a bat to a pangolin in a wet market, specifically this market in Wuhan where wildlife is traded.
Hubei.
We know this, but you know it.
You know what? If in the movie it happened in Wuhan, it would be like weird.
Yeah, but it
don't
didn't.
think-
It
okay.
didn't.
The conditions of the market where animals are stacked on top of each other likely created
By the
a
way, I love
similar
this movie. It's really
Yeah,
good movie.
you told me to watch
I
it.
loved.
so
I
yeah.
watched this many
Now,
times.
while only a small
Great
portion
movie.
of the Chinese population consumes wildlife animals, the highly contagious nature of
is
this
reality.
virus allowed it to quickly
It
spread
looked
from
like a
Patient
stroke,
Zero
not like
into
cough.
the
Yeah.
city of Wuhan. Which brings me to the next point: transmission speed.
Again, transmission speed. He read Wikipedia. It was there before COVID.
Yeah.
He based on fact. It's not a compare.
Yeah, he didn't just write the movie out of his mind without
Yeah.
checking things before and went to film it.
If this guy that made this video in YouTube, he should compare maybe Wikipedia with the virus. That make more sense.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that make more sense.
The reproduction number is used to estimate and represent
He took
how
this
quickly
information
a
from
disease
data.
can
Yes,
spread.
it's a bit
Or from a professor or
Likely
something.
to infect. Now, before we had a vaccine,
The professor
polio spread at
predicted.
a rate between 4 and 6. We call that
And it's on the wall. Polio.
Yeah, but if he like compares and says that the movie came true, so at the end of this movie, as we know, they have vaccine and everything gets to normal. We are one and a half year after it started with 3 vaccines, and we don't see the end of it.
Listen. I watched this movie, and you're so. This is amazing to just say that because we are so close to something you just said
Okay.
that it's predicted only one thing wrong, and you're so close. So this is really smart that you just said that.
Because
Let's watch
it's the
this.
only thing that doesn't
You are
come
absolutely
together.
smart that you said that because this is what is going to happen.
number.
Look,
No, that
We
time's
are not.
Like COVID-19, the
You just
fictitious
proved it.
virus is respiratory and can live in surfaces, fomites, for several hours or even days, making
This
it
is
all
unavoidable.
that
actually, some of the people don't have this, so that happened.
Mm-hmm.
easy to transmit.
The average person touches their face 2,000 or 3,000 times a day.
2,000 or 3,000 times a day.
You took this information
3 to
from
5 times
Wikipedia,
every
yeah.
waking
Yeah,
minute.
everybody knows this.
Yeah,
In
everybody
In
knows this
between,
fact.
we're
Info
touching
now.
doorknobs, water fountains, elevator buttons, and each other. Those things become fomites.
In the film, Patient Zero contracts the virus in Hong Kong, which is technically another match, and imports it to the US. We see little of the development of the pandemic in
Yeah,
other
it's like
countries
the
outside
same, yeah,
the US,
reality, same.
but it does spread extremely
Actually happened.
fast.
Actually happened. That's
Oh, it's
pretty
real,
amazing.
real
It's amazing.
While
pictures.
MEV1
Yeah,
and
you can see on the
COVID-19
bar,
share
you
a
can-
similar R0 factor, in the film, 125 plus million people are infected about a month after Patient Zero. Patient Zero for the US showed up in January 19th, about 2 months before I shot this video.
The first case of the deadly Chinese coronavirus making its way to the
So that
U.S.
patient is a man in his 30s.
Yeah,
he is
it's
in the
looking
hospital
like a movie,
cured.
right?
Just one reason why the U.S. has been so slow to
This
test.
is a PCR.
And while testing
you see,
hasn't been the most
knows
efficient
company.
in the country, the
She
official
knows she
estimate
works in
today
the
is
laboratory.
around
They didn't want me to-
1,500 infected. In the film, response from health authorities and the government was prompt, with quarantine zone established as soon as 14 days after the first death. However, it's the impact and dynamics of misinformation and
Morpheus.
mass
Yeah,
hysteria
Morpheus.
where we can find eerie similarities with our 2020 reality.
Reality. People are animals.
Distrust
Buying
in the
toilet
government
paper.
and fake news. In the movie, they're represented by Jude Law's characters, a blogger that, while credited with noticing the epidemic early on, begins disseminating false theories with no other seeming purpose than generating traffic for his website and and chaos.
When I turned on my computer
news.
this morning, I had over 2 million unique visitors all looking for the truth.
Alan fakes contracting the virus and fakes getting better using a natural extract called forsythia.
This is like
Forsythia is a
People
real
taking vitamin C
used to treat bronchitis and
as a
believed to help
remedy for
reduce
COVID.
inflammation, but even today, without sufficient evidence to be used in medicine. Alan's claims release chaos and misinformed
It's not
masses
working for
begin
him,
to
right?
try to get their hands
But
on the
actually,
extract.
sometimes it
And now
works
to the
and
growing
not.
number of hoaxes popping up online from false claims about treatment.
Similarly, a group of conspiracy theorists,
Drink
including
bleach,
Alex
as Trump
Jones,
said.
you remember Donald Trump told everybody to drink
just
bleach.
said, drink bleach.
Yeah.
begun promoting microparticle colloidal silver
Tested it. It works on just about everything.
that beats coronavirus. They have clinical documentation to prove it.
Order silver now.
A cease and desist was issued by the New York Attorney General, but we're yet to find out if it does anything to stop them. We are, of course, also seeing shortages of masks, which have been advised against for the general population by the World Health Organization. Hand sanitizer and toilet paper, for some reason.
Didn't predict that.
Yeah.
They did it.
Nobody knows why it's toilet paper.
When a vaccine is developed in the film
Nobody knows.
incorrectly just at 133 days after patient zero, Jude Law's character threatens to continue misinforming his followers about the potential side effects of the vaccine, including autism.
The lawyers indemnified the drug companies. Maybe it causes autism or narcolepsy or cancer 10 years from now. Who knows?
Just the other day, 2 years old, 2.5 years old, a child, a beautiful child, went to have the vaccine and came back and a week later got a tremendous fever.
This is Trump talking about the vaccination?
No, I think he talks about vaccines in general.
Got very, very
Because
sick.
there's like
now
a
is
rumor that vaccine causes.
autistic.
The film also taunts at misinformed
We are like we both have vaccinations. We don't have
COVID
any
vaccine, yeah, we had the vaccine.
We both have the vaccinations.
government officials.
We are pro vaccines, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
we're
point.
with the vaccinations. Yeah,
I think it helps.
we don't understand people that don't do vaccinations. You should
Everyone
get
should
vaccination.
do whatever he wants, but yeah, you should get your vaccine.
We're humanity. This is what we have. You should get vaccination. This is what we have.
Yes.
Smartest minds. This is what we got. You should get the vaccination.
Security wants to know if we could put a vaccination in the water supply, like fluoride, cure everyone all at once.
Which is just icing on the cake after seeing this go down in our real world White House.
If you take a solid flu vaccine, you don't think that would have an impact or much of an impact on corona?
No. Probably not.
I like it that Donald Trump is the only one that calling it like the Israelis Corona,
Yeah,
not COVID.
COVID is in Europe, yeah.
I know that a lot of people hate him. I love Donald Trump.
Yeah, we
He's
love him.
insane.
We're fans of
He-
Trump.
Yeah, I love watching him. He's crazy. I know. He's insane. But I love watching him.
Too bad he disappeared suddenly.
He disappeared. Yeah. Since he lost, he's like a little boy. "Ah, I lost. No.
As for what comes next, the film predicts a suspension in basic services, food shortages, and mass graves. Let's hope that we don't get to see any of that.
That really happened.
Using this opportunity to remind everybody that washing your hands with soap is the best route. Soap is the best agent to break down the protein and lipid walls of the virus. Panic doesn't
Nice to
help
know.
anybody, but sadly, it seems they also got this right.
So
That's it? What?
no, I wanted to show you. Yeah, that's not the entire compare. But somebody wrote here like a comment, and that's kind of what you said. The only thing that they didn't get wrong, not here. The only thing that the movie didn't get wrong, the only thing that the movie didn't get right,
Yes.
didn't compare, is the fact that people in the movie fight over to get the vaccination.
Yeah.
And in real life, people don't want to get the
Yes.
vaccination. That's insane.